Photography has always been a passion of mine. I started taking pictures when I was about 8 years old with a Kodak Brownie and then graduated to a Polaroid Swinger. But the funny thing is, I didn't really start taking it seriously until about 2006 when I suddenly found myself unemployed and looking for something to do. It occurred to me after overhearing a conversation with some high school friends that were concerned about getting wrinkles and cellulite and things like that and starting to age naturally, that I wanted to do something about how different cultures of women approach aging. So I said, wow, what if I did a photo book of all these different women from all different races and walks of life, and just asked them one question, because it occurred to me, when are these people, when are my friends going to fall in love with themselves as they are? So I started taking pictures of women and asking them a question. At what point did you fall in love with yourself?
I fell in love with myself very late in my life, in my opinion. I was already in my mid-20s. And it dawned on me that I cannot carry on in this life almost resenting how I look or not being happy with, I don't know how tall I am, it just seemed like it was madness to carry on like this. So I began to really settle into my skin, to say this is it. It doesn't get any better. This is it. So get comfortable, start loving this.
The day I looked in the mirror and took responsibility for every choice I had made, every choice I was going to make, and every choice I was making in that moment. We have to take responsibility for our choices.
Now initially, to be honest, it was very celebrity driven, because I knew that would be what would sell the book. But slowly it occurred to me that celebrities have so many options. They have so many different books focusing on them, and ordinary women don't. So I decided to mix it up a little bit.
I would like to thank you for embarking me in this adventure and for forcing me to live up to my favorite statement. When is the last time you did something for the first time? Well, first time we met, you took a nice picture of me, and usually I'm shy with a camera. Then you convinced me to talk about myself in a book. Quite an interesting exercise for somebody who is quite reserved.
See how that looks.
Mickey Turner is really easy to shoot with because she makes you feel very comfortable. She focuses on the realness of a moment and not the perfect shot or a beauty shot. And I think she captures the soul of the people that she's shooting, and in essence that a lot of photographers miss.
The selection process was really kind of weird. There were people that I went after, and then there were people that I just stumbled upon, like Naomi Judd and Gladys Knight and Della Reese and Lima Gubawe and Angela Davis, and it's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. Laurel Holloman was someone I met at a party and had a conversation with, and you know, we sort of bonded immediately because I'm from Cincinnati and she adopted her second daughter from Cincinnati. And you know, we just sort of like hit it off immediately, although we didn't become fast friends. Over time we did, and she was really one of the first people I did an extended photo shoot with. We did 3 different shoots. The first one, I didn't feel I captured her, and I actually think she was not having a great day that day. The second one, we got wonderful stuff. She brought her daughter, Nala, and we went out to Malibu and shot on the beach. And that was wonderful stuff, and a lot of that stuff has run in different magazines. And I had a shot that I was going to use, and then, you know, she needed some headshots, so I went up to her house, and you know, we did a series of about 300 frames, and out of that came, you know, something so lovely. I'm like, this is the shot, I got to change the shot, this is the shot. And it was a shot of her just going like this, which, you know, I just loved. I thought it was one of the best shots in the book. And then, lo and behold, you know, a couple of years later, I'm shooting stills of her preparing for her art show in Venice, Italy. And there, she's standing by one of her paintings with a paintbrush in her hand. And she just, you know, the continuous shooting, and at one point she just looked down for a split second and bam, that was the shot. And so it's been a real adventure with Laurel. But you know, unfortunately for some of the other people, it was a situation where you got one shot, okay, and make it quick.
To be in the book Journey to the Woman I've Come to Love has been really touching, because the day that the author Mickey Turner came to me and filmed me was my child that's here now was just like a little bud of a little girl, and here she is climbing out of my arms. And she's clearly her own woman, so she's already on her journey. But it was such a great moment because it really, I was on a new path, and that was a path of motherhood, to become a mother, and I think Mickey was there to kind of capture me at the start of that. So I'd be interested to, you know, revisit this book over the years to see where I am in my journey, because I know it's going to be evolving.
What greater thing for people to hear other people's story? I mean, what else is there? Her story, his story. That's what it's all about, sharing the different, for lack of a better word, planes, levels. Because we all going through the same shit. I mean, let's get real.
Why do you think this book is so cool?
Well, one, it's beautifully shot, and I think it really explores and captures the intelligence of all these women. And I think it asks a really important question that all women think about at different points in their life. I think it celebrates the greatness that women become when they become wiser and older. And I think American culture dismisses that too often.
I love being a woman. I love being an African woman because there's a sense of grace and honor about how the African woman feels her body and her curves and her full lips and natural hair. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing when you're a woman and you learn to fully exist within yourself. It's just wonderful.
One of the funniest shoots, I think, was with Sanaa Lathan. Sanaa and I, ironically, were both leaving for London the next day. She was going to go do Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and I was going to go interview the cast of Pirate Radio, I think. and I was just going to take a little extended holiday there and spend some time. So I went up to her house in the hills, and she's got on a wife beater and some shorts, and she's packing, and she's a little frazzled. And she's like, oh, wow, do I look okay? I'm like, yeah, you look great. You know, this isn't about being glamorous or anything. You know, you look really cool. And she says, wait a minute, I think I can go get something to make it better. So she goes in her bedroom, pulls out this wool wrap that's multicolored, and just wraps it around her. And it looks like she is, you know, just stepping off the red carpet. I mean, that transformation was just amazing. And that, too, is one of my favorite shots in the book. You know, for me, it's been really a cathartic journey. You know, everybody who does something like this says, you know, it's a labor of love or something like that. Yeah, it is that. You know, it is that cliche. But for me, I set out to do a book that not only showcased my photography skills, but also a book that would enlighten, empower, educate, and inspire women. And hopefully Journey has done that. I think it has. It's been embraced by women all around the world. And I just can't wait till it comes out and till my mom sees it, and you know, my cousins and my friends and all the people who were gracious enough to be a part of it. I just can't wait.
You know, once you start to love yourself, you love everything about you.